For the New York Stock Exchange now, CNBC's Sarah Eisen joins us. Sarah, GDP growth second quarter was up, stronger than previously thought it would be, up at least a little bit, and hitting a two-year high. What do the genius economists think revised that figure upward?
Well, it was a mix of consumer spending and business spending that sent us to 3.1% economic growth in the second quarter. But we just got new figures that show, Mark, it may not have a lasting effect. Personal incomes and spending in the month of August coming in pretty sluggish, 0.2 and 0.1%. It was as expected, but it suggests that this is going to be a hard growth rate to maintain. That's the big challenge, getting an annual 3% growth. Also, the effects of Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Maria. Also, what we saw is going to slow growth a bit. And this gets me to the president's tweet. He tweeted about the 3% growth, certainly proud of it, saying that it would be years before that happened. We have just begun. The trick is getting to 3% annual growth, because we've seen 3% growth many times during the Obama years. Now let's get to the other rocket man. That would be Elon Musk, who laid out more plans for his mission to Mars in a presentation in Australia. Here's what we learned. The name of the vessel, BFR, which stands for Big Effing, can't say it on TV, rocket. And he's going to get to Mars, he says, by 2022 with cargo, 2024 with people. And this rocket, Mark, can even take people different places on Earth in under an hour to Shanghai in 39 minutes. We'll see. It's pretty ambitious.
Rocket commute. All right, CNBC Sarah Eisen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next, there has been a lot of discussion about how Donald Trump found his way to the White House, but equally, if not more important for some, is what comes next. We're going to talk with the authors of the new book, One Nation After Trump. That's straight ahead on Morning Joe.
EJ, what's your diagnosis of how we
dark path that cuts across some of these boundaries? Then we head down a very, very dark path.
Our thanks to Norm Ornstein and EJ Dionne. Again, the book is One Nation After Trump, a guide for the perplexed, the disillusioned, the desperate, and the not yet deported. And that does it for us this morning. Stephanie Rule picks up our coverage right now. And strong force in American politics as he reshapes the office virtually every day. But the trend lines that help lead to his election have been around for some time now, even if they weren't at first front and center. A new book by Norm Ornstein and E.J. Dionne explores that idea. It's called One Nation After Trump, a guide for the perplexed, the disillusioned, the desperate, and the not yet deported. We sat down with the authors to discuss how the country took such a sharp turn. You start with how we got here with the Trump presidency, EJ. What's your diagnosis of how we ended up with President Trump?
Two things. One is we got to recognize that we have something of a non-majoritarian democracy right now. I don't think we should forget the gap between the Electoral College and the popular vote, which has now happened twice since 2000. And I think this shows that the Electoral College is increasingly out of step with an America that's more metropolitan than ever. Secondly, you had a confluence of social issues and economic issues. We spent a lot of time in the book on this debate. Was it race, immigration, and culture, or was it economics? There was undeniably a huge role of racial issues and nativism in electing Trump, but this all happened in economic context. And if you looked at the places where Trump won, they tended to be places where there was a lot of economic anxiety.
So, Norm, what did Donald Trump know about America today that those other 16 candidates in the Republican Party didn't know, and that in the end Hillary Clinton didn't know?
You know, it was interesting because Trump emerged as one of a large number of outsider candidates at a time when there was this immense outpouring of anger and disgust with Washington. Trump emerged when he really did pick up on this immigration issue and when he went after his own colleagues with some contempt. This sense that this is the guy who can stand up to those terrible Democrats where all of our leaders have failed. But there's another important point to make here, Willie, which is for all of this about this election, the roots of Trump and Trumpism go back decades. He didn't just emerge just as some of these other candidates did.